Yeah.
Hello, everybody,
Yes.
and welcome back. I gotta add your nameplate back because I finally fixed the nameplates, Mason. Finally fixed them, and now we're back. Alright, so last time you cured a curse, however, there was an underlining poison that was still affecting the king. You sent the mage's king, the mage's king. Wow. You sent the king's mage to detect poison on anything he eats and drinks to make sure they're not poison. And you learned of a person wearing a white kitsune mask. That's the main points that I have down here. Anyways, you guys were leaving the castle. I think it was to look for more clues as to this kitsune person mask. That was a deranged sentence there. So, what are y'all gonna do?
So Finrir's still hoping to get something off of this scrying, but that'll take days.
Mhm.
So he'll ask everyone else. This wizard might be a good lead for us, but it will take him time if he ever succeeds.
Well, if he hasn't left the city, we may be able to track him down quicker.
Yeah, though it can be kind of hard tracking down magical folk. Sometimes they know tricks that ordinary people don't know on how to cover their tracks.
He's been gone too long to pick up a scent. I don't even know where to begin.
We just need something that is unique to him, and the ability to find certain objects. The more unique, the better the chances.
And sometimes the more personal, that can work too.
I still don't know where to begin. We don't have anything of his. We have a description that does not even include a face.
But we know that he traffics in rare herbs. Perhaps some
We
of
know
the
where those
alchemists
herbs
in the
come
city.
from.
Yes, but I would imagine other easier to attain items he would get within the city closer to hand.
Well, I could always throw my familiar up in the air and have him scout out as a bird, see if he picks up on anything.
I never imagined
Also,
that such a man would travel there himself for such goods, especially not the one who is talking to the king's advisors. So perhaps it's
But if
easier to
he's-
find the one who sold it to him.
But if he's... The king said he remembered him visiting him himself.
Oh, but he would have gotten... Oh, wait, do we even know for certain that this is the guy who did the poisons? You know that he did
No,
the
but
curse,
we know
he
that-
may not...
We know he's from the same place, and we suspect that the king is being continually poisoned, which means there is a supply somewhere in the area.
Yeah, but we don't know that the guy who put the curse on him is the same, is in any way involved with the people poisoning him.
Well, no,
you
but
don't
at
have
least-
confirmation.
But if it's the only lead we've got, it's better to track that than to sit around and hypothesize.
So we don't have anything on the masked figure. We
Nope.
just don't have it. Like until we get the scrying. Yeah, we don't have any way to pursue him.
Mm-hmm. It might come up again. Let me bring up scrying again.
It's once per day, so even if the wizard tried every day, then we would just be hoping that he fails. And that's if you continue to say yes, this is a viable way to attempt it.
I mean, it depends on whether or not you guys want him to do it. I mean, he's gonna try either way to try to do it, but I still don't understand these modifiers.
Are you okay?
These modifiers suck. The modifiers
Why?
suck because they make no sense to my penal brain.
I think they are fine. They are a little backwards to how I would innately
They're
want them.
completely
They still work.
backwards.
You apply the modifiers to the roll, right?
No, you apply it to the save.
Oh, okay.
Which is why it's like confusing to me because you
Yeah,
add
so the
or
ones that
subtract to the save itself. So
Okay,
like
that makes
if
sense.
their save is, let's say, like a 12, but you're doing it second hand, their save now goes to 17. But if
No.
like a
No,
picture,
the other way.
then it goes down 2, so then it would be a 15.
No, the other way.
I don't know anymore.
The other... Are you okay?
No.
Let me pull it up that way I can.
I have it up on my screen.
I know, but the way you explained it is not how it works.
I need to understand how this applies.
The modifier applies to the roll.
But that doesn't make sense. If you were familiar with the person, you would gain +5, not -5.
No, the person trying to resist the scrying gets a -5 because they're the one rolling. The person scrying does not make any rolls.
I'm a dumbass. Okay, I understand now.
Oh my god.
Here's me thinking that they're the ones that are supposed to be rolling.
No, the person getting scryed on rolls against the spellcaster's DC.
Okay.
The roll gets a modifier based on how familiar they are, and this is second hand and a half.
Okay. I'm dumb. Thank you for explaining this.
Okay, but we can have him try daily as long as you say that having a description of him while he is masked is still good enough to attempt a scry.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
it would technically be secondhand knowledge, but
Yeah, I think I think either way would be a fair ruling. So, and this gets the plot rolling. So,
yeah.
we have no objects, and
You basically get a +3 to it. The person resisting gets a +3 every time, because it's the likeliness of the picture, and
we do
it's
not have a
secondhand
likeness.
knowledge because it's from the king, not the caster.
I would say it's only a +5 for them because we do not have a likeness. You'd actually need to be able to draw their face.
But you had drawn the mask.
I think the +5 makes sense.
We're scrying on the mask.
We're scrying the man who had the mask because you can't scry an object, as we discovered last time. I
Oh.
thought we could, but we can't. So we're scrying the person, and we don't even have a likeness. We just have a concept of who they are. So it is secondhand, and we have nothing. So, but it's only a +5. They gotta pass what? A 11 at least. I hope this wizard is kind of smart. They can't do that forever.
So he can be kind of a dunce, but he's intelligent.
Yeah, like he's gonna have a spellcasting save DC that's not less than 10. He's like, so, you know, if our target rolls a nat 1 or even a 3 or lower, he's definitely failing, even with the +5. So it's just a matter of time. But until then, I don't think we have a way to start trying to find him. We could go the other way and be like, oh, let's try and find however they're getting this poison, and maybe that will lead to the masked figure, if we're lucky. What do you guys think? What else do we want to do until the scrying starts? Until the scrying catches a hint?
Well, originally Nox had planned to stay in the palace for a little while to see if he could locate the stash of the poison that is in this place.
Sure.
Yeah, Mason will probably help with that.
Because I think we need to, at first, identify who's working against the king within the palace before we leave him.
Mm-hmm.
Junior doesn't really care, but he doesn't have anything he's begging to do at the moment, so sure, why not?
Okay.
So you wish to search for the poisons within this very palace?
The king won't be safe entirely until we do.
Yep. Gotta make sure we cover all our bases.
Well, it's as good as a place to start as any.
Plus, if anyone in the palace is administering it, they may know the supply chain through which it arrives.
I would ask if you had any magical way to find it, but I suppose that would not work anyways.
True. Although I do have the means, it would prove difficult to use them.
The only
I can
way
sort
I
of
could.
sniff them out for you, although I will need... I doubt I will have free reign, which is something I would be used to in such a hunt.
The king understands what we are doing here. I'm sure he would give you that.
You think he will give me a permission to go into any room that I wish?
If his very life depends on it.
So I'm pretty sure.
I doubt we would.
I mean, we better just ask, just in case. Well, I mean, yeah, he'd probably be fine. I think he's more worried about his physical life than us poking and finding maybe a secret sex dungeon or something a little more risque.
You open one door and you find a secret sex dungeon.
Oh gosh, damn it.
Darn, this is the door we left from.
I'm kidding.
He's only half kidding.
All right. Well then, you ask him, and if with permission, I will search for the plant. I have had enough regrettable experience with such a thing.
And Oxford, are we still in the room with them?
Presumably not.
No, you guys were... At the end of the session, you guys were leaving.
Presumed we left, so like maybe we're right outside, but
You guys were like right outside, yeah.
As in right outside that particular room, or
The castle.
I thought we were staying in the castle.
I thought you said you guys were leaving for a minute. Alright, let's say you're inside the castle. Let's say you're in the main hall. There we go. Fixed it. High five.
don't know, I'm making a bit of a dead end.
Cafe's kind of paws your foot and is like, why don't we check the obvious place?
Forgive us if we don't see the obvious place.
Where is all food prepared?
The kitchen?
I still
Exactly.
don't think I can walk in there uninvited.
I'm sure they won't care.
Fenrir, I'll be honest, as long as you get, like... I mean, nobody's really gonna care, just don't start eating the food. I think that's all that really matters to the kitchen staff.
Don't we think that someone is poisoning him? Maybe
Yeah, but
that's
you're not
why.
you're not gonna sample every single dish to see what's poisonous, though.
No, maybe them letting everyone into the kitchen is why this happened in the first place.
Ding, dinner. Half of it's eaten on every plate.
No, I mean like
And
someone
full of
going in
fur.
there and poisoning shit. It's like, because
You
apparently
eat
they
the
don't care who goes into
unpoisoned part of the
kitchen.
king's dish.
Duh. All right. After getting scolded for not leaning forward at the proper time, I wasn't certain which was allowed. Let's just go break into the kitchen.
Alright. So, one of the attendants, who you find nearby after searching frantically and getting nowhere, brings you over to the kitchen, opens the door. It's lively. There is one grand table in the center of the room that most people are working at. There are other, like cabinets, and so think of a kitchen, the kitchen cabinet, all wood, and then the countertop being all like, you can kind of think of it as like butcher block, kind of all around, and people are cooking up stuff. There is a hearth on the left wall that someone is cooking up some soup. It is a cast iron big old pot.
Nice and heavy.
And
All right.
nobody really pays you mind as you enter.
Let's see what I can find. It's going to like, completely feral mode, just like lean forward and start sniffing around. Walking straight into the kitchen and just kind of eyes closed, looking with his nose for anything that seems to hint that the rosemary was there.
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. Okay.
Mistletoe.
I was like,
Let's see,
it's some kind
rosemary's
of
a
nice.
common herb.
Mistletoe.
Yes, that one. It's like some kind of nice scent or something. Okay.
Roll me investigation with advantage for your smell.
I'm definitely going to use. Let me double check. My superiority die. Yeah, I can do that. It'll be another D8. Two. 18.
Alright, so you get over to pretty much everything in the room, all the prepared food, all the food they're still prepping, all the ingredients and everything, and you go through all the way to where you get to the dirty dishes, which, once you get to the dirty dishes, is the only sign of any mistletoe that you can smell.
I mean, he's gonna get all up on top of it, like a, you know.
Knox and Mason, you see Fenrir fairly just jump on top of this counter at these dirty plates.
Yeah. Mason will be.
Everyone kind of
looking at Knox.
stops for a moment and kind of like looks over and is like, "The fuck did you?" The head chef is kind of like shocked and like it just has a face of like, "What the fuck?"
Nox just looks over to her and just says, "Carry on."
Everyone,
no
you can
mind
do
us.
whatever you want as long
What
as
the
you
fuck
just.
is wrong with that thing?
Don't mind us, sir. We're doing a little side project, just looking around at some suspicious things that have been going around.
Fenrir's gonna
get
try
off
and-
my fucking counter.
Fenrir, like,
We will
still with his
leave
eyes
when we're
shut, is
done.
going to start, like, sniffing around to figure out, like, where the path that it came from.
Do you pay attention to her at all?
Almost not, yeah. He's
Roll
very
me a
busy.
dexterity saving throw.
Dodged a chunkla.
13.
Just. I'm gonna need you to take.
I'm surprised it was a dex save and not like a hit versus my AC.
4 points of damage as she throws a rolling pin at you.
Non-magical damage?
Non-magical damage. Standard
immune.
old rolling pin.
That'd be one hell of a rolling
But
pin.
I'm just immune, right?
Rolling pin +2.
If it was
She's the head chef.
if it was cast iron, that would have been a D8. Those things are
Oh,
heavy.
no, I mean, I'm immune to...
Yeah, it just thumps onto you and it falls down.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, he'll look over and just literally growl, but then continue what he's doing.
She goes, "Not in my kitchen," and she takes out a dagger, and
Whoa.
it shines for a minute. You're in investigative mode. Make me a perception check without advantage.
Nox would be watching her 100%.
Oh yeah, Mason would be like getting in front of her, trying to
13.
calm her down.
Okay, nope, you know it's a standard dagger. And
Okay,
she's
fine.
like, "You better get the fuck off my counter, I'm gonna cut you."
If you try and hinder an investigation into who's been cursing and poisoning the king, I'm sure you would do well to answer to him. And I would be very quick to incapacitate you and drag you before him, should you continue this course of action.
She stops for a minute and she looks over to you and she goes, "I don't care what investigation you're doing. If you get on my counter, I'ma cut ya." He can do all the investigating he wants, standing on the floor like a civilized person.
Doesn't he look like a beast?
I mean, he does look like just a regular person right now. Maybe in weird clothes and doing weird things, but...
Nox would just look to, what would I do? To be honest, knowing him, Nox wouldn't worry all that much about the dagger.
By the way, like, Fenrir just kind of looks at her, like, puffs with, like, a blank stare. Has he found a direction yet?
No. It's all
Really?
muddled. You can smell it because it's on the dirty plates. but they're already like pre-soaked, so there's no like trail to follow.
I mean,
Uh,
the whether or not the plate is soaked does not affect where it walked through.
Yeah, it'd be on the air or on someone in the
Like, it's
kitchen.
possible that it's just died down if it's been
Yeah.
days and days and days.
Probably.
But like,
Well, no, because you would.
So, in all
It's,
fairness, in the palace, a dirty dish should not be there for days.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's possible. There are reasons why that would happen. The plate is currently in water is not one of them.
yeah, that's true. I'll say, what did you roll again for that?
An 18.
18. That's right. I will say there is a very faint trail that leads out of the kitchen to a side door.
They'll hop off and just start going towards that direction.
And she goes, "Thank ya." And she puts her knife
Mason
away.
will just
and she
Mason will
walks
kinda
back
tip-
towards the giant cauldron.
sorry about that. As Mason just calls to the woman, he follows Fenrir.
She eyes all of you with dirtiest look. If looks
Mason
could
just-
kill, you'd all be dead.
Yeah, and Mason's gonna be a cheeky fucker and just give her like the biggest like happy smile and wave as he leaves.
Is the side door open?
Yep. It leads to the dining room.
So now back to feral mode and just eyes shut, following the instant as best he can.
Now, maybe something that Nox might intervene with you for, but this room is decked out. This is definitely a very nicely put together place. Everything is in place. Nothing is off by like a centimeter. Plates and decorations and things are lining through the tables. The chairs are all freshly cleaned and everything like that. This is definitely not a place to jump up on a table. There are guards lining the walls of this room.
I will also say he's kinda not paying attention to crowds. So if a scent goes towards someone, he'll like almost walk
Just
into
go
people.
towards it.
I will note.
It's definitely
Yeah.
It's definitely the size that could walk someone over.
Yeah. I will note also that the way that the guards are positioned, there are empty suits of armor that are between them. So it's like armor, guard, armor, guard, armor, guard. Not necessarily in that order, but like you get the gist.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So the trail leads around the table and to the place where the king would sit.
King sits in the dining room. Also, okay. There wasn't any other. Okay, this might take some back and forth then. He's gonna see there, it probably is a little stronger if it sat there for a while, and he'll see if it goes anywhere else. Possibly multiple directions.
It does. It leads over and it becomes stronger as it leads over and out of the dining room.
Yeah, so Feral Fenrir is gonna follow it blindly.
it leads over to a closet. From there, the scent dies. In the closet is nothing special. There are brooms, there is a bucket, there is a washcloth, and there is nothing else.
Mason.
We'll look at it. Does it smell like it was here for a while?
No. This was definitely the point of origin, but it does not smell like it was here for longer than to take something out sneakily and bring it out.
He'll, like, sniff around trying to see, like, and double check walls for any kind of special entrances and stuff. And then he'll look back and be like, trail ends. It's as if the plant just appeared here.
Well, that definitely warrants more investigation on the wardrobe.
Is there some kind of magic that could do such a thing?
Teleportation magic?
We're gonna start, not aggressively, but still at all, kind of throwing things out of the room to make sure that there's nothing hidden or no pathways or anything.
Nothing.
Could be a multi-person job. Multiple people, like, passing on the item. One person drops it off, another person comes picks it up, adds it to the food, gives it to the king.
But if this palace is so warded, how did they get it in here?
That's the question.
And that's
have
when
to-
you notice you are back at the Great Hall again. And where this closet lies is not too far away from both the entrance of the castle and the entrance to go below.
I'm a tad confused. Did I, like, shut the door and it opened up to a different spot?
Nope.
It's a port key.
Nope, just different doors, different places, like down the hall. And in different directions.
So this closet had multiple rooms?
Nope.
Or had this...
No, it's just a closet.
This closet.
How did I...
I'm
get
saying in
somewhere?
relation to where you are these entrances.
Oh, I thought it genuinely moved us.
No. Nope. You guys
So this-
went searching. The person, instead of taking you through the dining hall, he went through the servants' passages, which took you directly to the kitchen. From the kitchen, there's a direct door to the dining hall, which is a long hallway filled with multiple chairs, probably about 20 chairs or so, with the king at the head. And then there is an entrance and exit for guests and the king to go through that goes past the king's chair, that where the trail led, and that leads back into the great hall.
Oh, wait. I thought you said I was in a closet.
You open the door to a closet, which is where the scent leads, which where the scent led, which was in the great hall.
Oh, so I left the dining room.
You
and
left
then
the dining room.
closet.
Yes.
Okay. The But it doesn't. There was no other path. It's not like it was.
The scent trail did not go anywhere else.
So it still is like it appeared in this closet in the Great Hall.
Mm-hmm. For the scent trail, yes.
You'll just look at the others and. Well, what now? Can you detect the magic somehow?
Not that I can think of. It's a bit weird. I haven't been in too many castles, but a lot of them have little twists and turns that can get them into different locations, so...
Unless there is some other door inside of this small room, I do not see where it could have come from.
I doubt it. I feel like
What's
we've
down
either
below?
reached the...
That entrance isn't too far.
What?
It's maybe like 4 feet away is a staircase leading down.
And the scent absolutely does not go in that direction.
It does not.
Doesn't mean there won't be access from below. Some kind of hatch.
I checked for a hatch.
Maybe it only opens from one side.
Okay, he'll shrug.
Or it could be an air vent or something.
I don't know.
Well, I suppose at this point we're guessing anyways. No point not to just wander.
So, do you guys go down?
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so, as you all descend, Mason, can I have you make me a perception check?
Sure. That's a 25.
You see a ghostly figure at the corner of your eye as you descend. In the distance.
Phyllis, we may not be alone here.
Of course not, there's 3 of us.
No, not what I meant. We may be.
I never get bored of this guy.
I see somebody besides us. He's trying to explain like this ghostly, like pale figure that he's spotted.
Let me just clarify really quickly. You saw it as you were descending the stairs. You saw it as you were leaving the Great Hall. So it was in the Great Hall that you saw it.
Yeah. But he's still gonna just tell them, like, you know, what he saw.
Yeah. Just want to clarify the placement of it.
Yeah.
Are there many fatalities on King's Castle?
Fenrir. A king's castle or anywhere near a castle at all is pretty much half a graveyard.
I'll just raise an eyebrow at that. Why?
There's have you ever heard of this thing called cover-ups that may happen sometimes?
No.
Okay. So sometimes Elected officials do things they're not supposed to, and they need to get rid of people. Or accidents, as he puts quote unquote accidents, sometimes happen. Seeing if he gets like the lingo he's trying to put out.
Yeah, good luck.
Mason will keep on trying.
Cafe has a question. Why are you only seeing them now?
Well, to be honest, when it comes to my powers and capabilities, it's not like I actively look for them. They usually come looking for me.
So this is expected? Nothing strange?
But couldn't they have been trying before, but you keep them out?
I do, but in a case when they're trying to possess me, when I back in my hometown, possessions happen so much that Lady Aerodeth taught me different techniques on how to guard myself from beings that want to forcibly take a hold of my body. So sometimes when they need to talk to me, they don't realize how to properly communicate with me.
I don't like being touched either.
It's not being touched. It's you don't feel anything. You just lose control. It's never good, never good.
That doesn't sound so bad.
But if they don't know how to communicate, couldn't they all be treated as trying to possess you?
It just depends on their intents.
I guess I just don't understand how this works.
Yeah, it's more Mason tries to explain. It's just kind of like with him and Nox. It's kind of like just its own science, really, to him.
So you think this ghost is normal, and we should continue looking downstairs?
Yes. If it had ill intent, it would have been a lot more forceful, is just all I'm getting at.
Alright, you
Shrug.
go down, and it leads down to a door. And when you open the door, you find the cellar room, full of wine and barrels of ale.
Fenrir's just gonna kind of like walk straight towards generally underneath the closet and go look at it.
Solid ceiling.
I don't see an entrance from here. And quick smell around. It does not seem like the plant was in this area. Presume.
Well, at that point, Nox could use one of his abilities to locate objects, see if he could locate one within 30 feet.
Locate what within 30 feet?
I think it's a spell.
Plant.
Oh, you're locating mistletoe. Okay.
Also, locate object is crazy.
Does
It's a really-
locate object also locate traces of such object? Like,
you can define it how
if-
you want.
well, like if it was made into something.
You can define it how
Okay,
you
so
want.
it can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the object, but it could contain the object, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Go ahead and cast it for me, please. Do I need to make any check? Do you have to make any check?
No, it's just concentration of up to 10 minutes.
Okay. Now is
So-
this like a sight thing?
Also, no, it's just within 1,000 feet.
I have to describe the name of an object that is familiar to me, so I know mistletoe because it's a sacred plant of the Druids.
Mm-hmm.
You can describe or name it. So you can be like
As
mistletoe or any
specific or
poison containing mistletoe, and it will have the nearest one to you, and you'll always know the direction towards it.
If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement,
Okay.
and it has to be within 1,000 feet of you.
Okay. How do you know this knowledge? Can you see it? Do you feel it?
It says
It's a
you
spell.
can sense the direction to the object's location as long as the object is
Okay.
within 1,000 feet of you.
It is everywhere within this room.
In that case, he would learn the closest bit.
On the shelf
Describe-
next to you is about 100 bottles. As you are
So, yeah, you
standing
can
next
walk-
to a next to a wine rack.
Oh my god.
It is
Good job
everywhere in this room.
Dante's not here.
Dante
so
would be
they've
dead.
literally spiked the booze. That's just heartless.
Huh. They must have taken up as a whole barrel then. And it must be barreled somewhere else. That would explain the lack of scent.
The only thing in the room that isn't poisoned is the ale.
So how come... So we need to find out if this is the king's personal reserve. Like, how come no one else is ill?
We could also look for their supplier.
Nox
As
would
the-
take a bottle.
Alright. On the
In the next 10 minutes,
Bottle.
your spell's gonna point to the bottle.
Well, no, because I can sense... I'll know
Sense the
that...
closest.
Doesn't say that.
We'll check. Okay. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind.
The thing is,
This
everything's
bottle
pointed to this
is
room. This room's going to be a
pretty-
red herring no matter where we are.
I would take this as being the nearest because it's a kind of object instead of a I am looking for my necklace. Not necklaces that look like mine. My necklace. But it's not very important.
So, you take up the wine and you flip it over to the label. This label is pretty plain. Upon it, on top, scrolls the words, "The King's Wine." The image in the center of the seal is just a simple drawing of a crown, nothing too fancy. And underneath the crown says "Reserved for Royalty." There is no other label on the bottle. The cork is waxed shut, and it has the king, this king's royal insignia on it.
Why don't we ask the kitchen where they get their supply of wine from, and then also ask the king.
I'm not sure the king would source this. The kitchen would source this.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, I don't think the king would really care about wine specifically. He'd just say like, "Ooh, I like this certain brand.
They don't
Make
have
sure I get more."
brands. Um, so you weren't going to tell him?
Hmm?
Well, I don't think like we have enough like information right now.
I
But
think
that's
telling
up
him
to
that his wine is poisoned is enough information.
Yeah,
more like we don't know this.
but
We can tell him. I'm just saying, like, this is basically just a bit of information of we
You
don't
might as
really
well
have
ask
a
while
lead
we're there,
fully.
the
in
problem
case the
is if he
kitchen is in
stops
on it.
if he stops drinking the wine, then whoever is poisoning him is going to know that he knows. So it's best to tell the his mage that whenever he's going to drink wine, to cast protection from poison on him, so that he can keep up appearances. But
Yeah.
we can take the wine to him and get him to cast detect poison to make him realize that it is a source, and maybe he can give us more information.
If you trust the mage so much, I suppose.
Alright.
Well, at the
So-
end of the day, if we tell him and the king continues to be poisoned, we've got our man. But if we alert the entire kitchen, and any one of them are in on it, we lose our lead.
I just wanted to ask the kitchen where they get their wine from. Mostly
mean,
because
that
I
was-
actually expect them to know.
Fair enough.
That's fine.
Alright, so you guys go back to the kitchen.
Well, actually, Mason.
As you enter,
Well, actually, before we. Well, actually,
same
before
thing.
Mason.
If looks could kill, she immediately looks over to you and immediately gets enraged. And she's like, great. What are these motherfuckers going to do in my kitchen now?
Gunar's gonna speak for the first time to her. He'll be like, "Who supplies your wine?"
Who wants to know?
It's where I want to go.
She takes a moment and thinks. I need to get them
Going
out of my kitchen.
Yeah.
We get them from a shipment every month from the Tyr Empire.
Can I just assume that she gives us enough information that that's actually workable?
Well,
Like,
I
you know-
mean, yeah, she told you it's a vineyard
Yeah,
in
but
the
like,
Tyr Empire.
I assume, like, she could tell us,
Yeah,
like,
I think
oh,
that's enough to work
this
with.
is how you would find the exact ship, or like, this is who you could talk to, like, you
Tyr
know,
Empire was mentioned
saying, oh,
before.
we get fruit in from California, is
Oh,
not very helpful. But but like information that we as players
she-
do not care about could fix that.
She's like, unfortunately, we don't get it via ship. It comes via land. They come once a month. They drop off all the wine, and they leave.
I mean, he'll just raise an eyebrow because, you know, they pay him, I presume. They have a deal with them, I'd hope.
Yes.
There's seriously no
They
contact
have
at
a
all.
deal with all of the royalty throughout literally every kingdom. It's called the King's Wine for a reason. It's only sold to kings and queens. The wagon that goes around stops here, then continues on to the Ulv, to the kingdom of Ulv, then boards a ship. Then he boards a ship, and I assume he rents the carriage, because it never has any branding or anything. goes back home for what I assume, and the cycle continues the next month.
Just to double check, have I learned where I should go next?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because
You'll just-
leaving for the Tier Empire is
Well,
like
like,
a 4-month journey by ship.
I would also say, like, even if we magically peered into Tier Empire right this second,
Mm-hmm.
we still don't know where to go. All we got is
Yeah.
it's a place that makes wine in a country. Like,
Only for royals.
yeah, I guess there's that. That's a tad more specific. He'll just
But going by the direction that they said that it travels, it would have come through the town that we were in before we were here. Where there was suspicious activity among the thieves.
if you want to whisper that, Fenrir will just kind of turn and be like, "All right. If there's no name that I should seek out next," and he'll just kind of nod and start to head out.
As you leave the kitchen. Alright.
Fenrir will
Are you
start
gonna go to the
talking
king
to
now?
Nox. First I'll talk to Nox. We'll be like,
Oh, okay.
because I assume he mentioned that in whisper, so that way that would prompt him to be like,
The kind of thing I'd have said as we were walking away.
yeah, that's fair. He could mention, it's like, so the poison would have needed to enter the wine before it entered that cellar. But it does not sound like every king of every nation is having this problem.
No, it's definitely specific and targeted.
So it must happen between it entering this nation, or it must happen between the last shipment and this one.
So, above table, wasn't the last town we were in, didn't the Baron or whoever was in charge there have their sights set on capital for some reason, or am I misremembering that?
He had his sights on what?
The capital.
He is in the capital. He is here.
Oh. That's true, because he brought all his guards with him, didn't he?
He brought guards with him.
Most
He
of
didn't
them.
bring all of his guards with him.
But he brought the vast majority of them.
I wouldn't say
Or
a
we
vast
assumed
majority.
that-
I would say a majority of them. I wouldn't say, like, a vast majority.
Majority's a majority.
I would consider a vast majority a little bit more than just a majority.
I think we're on the same page, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wish to tell the king and his wizard? And we could try to trace the steps of this shipment.
I believe so. It certainly seems to be what's doing it. In the meantime, they could potentially even colour water to make it look like it's wine. Rather than have him drink it.
I would imagine they would poison the wine directly. No reason not to.
That is true. It would be hard to disguise. But we should certainly warn them what they're up against.
Do we warn the wizard or the king? I think only one will be necessary.
Probably the wizard. Because if we're gonna go with Nox is thinking if the king if the king stops drinking his wine, then it kind of blows our cover.
But he is going to search for the poison anyways. Won't he stop drinking the wine whether or not we tell him?
I believe the king will do what is necessary to keep up the charade, to give us a fighting chance of finding this culprit.
If we tell him, perhaps he can just come up with his own mind that he should pretend to keep drinking the wine. He knows his own wizard.
But his wizard needs to know so that he can protect him from the poison.
We could tell him, or the king could. Honestly, I would be surprised if either one left the other in the dark.
Yeah, at this point I've just lost track.
Above table, I have
the
no
two were
idea why
pretty
we're
much
telling only the
inseparable.
wizard. Like,
No, like, he assumes that we're gonna tell both of them. It's just the wizard is the one with the magic to protect the king.
Either way, let's tell. I feel like we should just tell the wizard, see if we should just tell the king. Just let him choose those rights.
so we're gonna tell the. Do you want to tell the wizard and let the wizard decide whether the king gets to find out,
Yes.
and not the other way
No.
around?
Oh.
The other way around sounds much more reasonable.
The last time we
Oh.
had a conversation, they were both together, and I don't understand why they wouldn't both be together when we discussed the thing that involves the king's life and the wizard's magic.
You know what? Let's just walk to the king's room since that's where we think both of them are, and tell who's ever there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so you go through the same widening pathways and get to the king's room. And you open the door, and the king is there, and so is the wizard.
Finrear just walks in and just says, "The wine is poisoned."
Interesting.
Nox.
I'm so glad that he
Okay.
doesn't need formalities or lead up.
Which wine?
All of the king's wine.
Nox would produce the bottle.
He takes the bottle in hand and he goes, "This is not the king's wine."
That's what the bottle said. I didn't think that it was
I
descriptive.
get what the bottle says, but the label is completely incorrect. Are all the wines like this?
The barrels that were near it labeled the same.
The presence of the poison was in the entire room.
Interesting. The king's wine, whilst the label looks pretty much exactly the same, there is the seal on the left corner of the label of the Tyr Empire. There is no such seal here.
A forgery?
Possibly. And he puts the bottle down. I wonder how long this has lasted then. I don't drink wine often. How many bottles were poisoned?
And a stellar's worth.
Yeah,
So
from
that
what
would
we
have been
could
an
tell,
entire year's plot. We only get about maybe 50 bottles every month. The cellar holds about 300 bottles. 4 sometimes.
So this has likely nothing to do with the masked curse. Entirely a coincidence.
Or maybe they got impatient.
Or it's a red herring. Or the curse was a herring. They figured that someone would think to just dispose of a curse quite quickly. Personally, I'm shocked no one did beforehand.
I mainly stick to mead, if I must be frank. Much richer taste.
Does anyone have the wine more often? Perhaps it was a different target.
It's weird how come there was so
Unfortunately,
much.
My wife is not much of a drinker either. She mainly sticks to either water, or she'll have the occasional juice.
But it sounds like whoever hatched this plot does not know you well.
Yes. So then
However,
it
it
must
doesn't-
be an outside force.
Though it does not explain how you've been getting poisoned if you're not drinking the wine.
Well, I drank it once. Like I said, I haven't had it in a while, but I did drink it recently.
I see. Well, it is a potent poison.
I had it when... When Duke Francis was over. My younger brother.
Is that the one from the town we went through?
Huh?
Is that the town that we went to?
No. He is the Duke
Now his younger
of
brother.
Cocktail.
Okay. Well, we've been to Cogsdale. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Coincidence or purposeful? Did they have any choice in the drink?
Well, yes, we were celebrating. So we fashioned out a bottle of the wine. Now that you mentioned it, I haven't heard from him lately. He left a while ago, back home.
Did he also drink the wine?
He did.
Didn't you just say he took some with him?
No, he drank it, he left.
Oh, okay, but he did drink it.
He did drink it, he left the city. He went back home.
I want to confirm that it did not have a worse outcome for him then.
Yes, well... I forget what I named the mage.
Dave.
Was it
Cry
Dave?
on him.
No, I've got no idea what it was.
I'm sure you
I feel
have
like
a
it was a
likeness.
Philip.
He just
Why do
looks
I
like a
feel like
Philip.
it was a Philip? Alright, I'm recording
Guys,
it.
we're-
His name is now Philip.
No, his name's not Philip, but we're all calling him Philip because he looks like one.
Alright. Philip, quickly send a message to the Duke of Cogdale. See of his health. Yes, my lord. And you see him take out a stone forgetting the name of the bird. It's the really fast one that people train all the time.
Peregrine?
Nope, it's big.
Falcon?
Falcon.
Hawk?
That's the one.
It's not even a specific
Falcon,
bird, I love
same
it.
thing.
I was gonna say, that's a whole...
Oh my god.
It's got
See him
feathers, okay?
Take out a stone hawk. He whispers into its ear hole and he throws it up. It animates to life and it flies through the walls and out of the castle.
These lands are so strange.
We should hear back from him, I would say in tomorrow morning or such.
Meanwhile, I suppose we could try to find this fake shipment.
Well, you won't find it now. The shipment was
He
weeks
said
ago.
a year ago. Or a while ago, yeah.
No,
either
no,
way.
no. They said they've been doing it continuously for years. For a year at least.
For a year at least.
So,
Really.
Yeah, mixed messages.
you wouldn't happen to know when the next one would be? I mean, he doesn't have to.
I
He's
believe
wizard
within
in the
about
game.
2 weeks. But I don't know the exact date.
All right. Will you keep scrying for the masked man for me?
Mm-hmm. He nods his head.
Fenrir will look at the others. He's obviously not too keen on sticking around for weeks for one of these two things to pan out, but he doesn't have another idea right now. This is better than going to another nation and wandering.
Well, I don't think we need to go to another nation to find the culprit because I'm still locked on the fact that he was visited here, even though it wasn't that close, and they would have informants within the city. Not necessarily
but-
within the palace, and at least outside in the city, our magic would work better.
Fenrir is entirely focused on finding these servants, and like, sure, there's probably one here, but there are others elsewhere. But yeah, he saying here does seem like the best course of action. But he's just kind of looking at you like, well,
Is there a way we can keep in contact and without staying in the castle?
Unfortunately, not a fast way of doing so, no.
And how slow are we talking?
A servant running between us. Carrying the message.
Not secure enough.
you guys have no idea how cheap that is. The Fenrir is just for the sake of it going to look at
Out of nowhere, you hear, "I could help."
If that is the cat lady, I'm gonna lose my shit.
As you look
Yeah.
around, nobody else is in this room.
You all heard that, right?
who's
Yeah,
there?
Nox's hackles will go up.
Indeed. From the king's shadow, a figure emerges. And it is
Shady
the
as fuck.
man in the kitsune mask.
Nox's jaw is just visibly hanging open.
Fenrir's gonna growl and go into feral battle stance.
I mean you no harm. As he puts up his hands in sort of a defensive action.
We had you keep.
You could always do this, King.
For the cast.
Sorry. The king looks as surprised as you all are. Nox, what did you say? I'm sorry.
We had you pegged as the primary suspect for the curse. And yet you step in here so easily.
Mason, shut the door.
I do not curse.
Shut
I
the
am
front
no
door.
warlock. Nor does my family intend to hurt the royal family.
Your
So
family. What family are you part of?
I cannot say. What I can say is there are 9 of us, and we serve
The
the
ringwraiths.
royal family, albeit without the king's knowledge.
So, secret agents, secret guardians, protectors, yada yada.
No.
Spirit's
We
gonna go
don't
hybrid
just
form.
protect the king. This was a new assignment, meant to safeguard his health, if anything. No,
You were doing a grand job.
we safeguard the kingdom itself. Well, unfortunately, our main focus is not just on the king's day-to-day tasks. Believe me, hanging in his chateau for weeks was annoying and troublesome. It was so boring.
Yes, 3 months of watching him dying must have been terribly dull for you.
Well, once he was sick, nothing else happened. Unfortunately. If something did, I would know about it. Unfortunately, the only people who ever came were diplomats and dignitaries that didn't even get close enough to even utter a spell or even try to curse him.
Someone who's supposed to be protecting him, though, you seem to just sit back and watch.
Finmir now in
You
hybrid form.
pose no threat, realistically.
Curse and the poison posed no threat.
No, I meant you. We were here after the
I'm on about
fact.
the... I was on about the months of poison and curse.
We were here after the fact.
These are a lot of convenient answers. Why don't you give me a reason not to attack you right now?
If
Especially
you were
since the
to
king
do
told us
so, 2 daggers made of silver will spike your back.
Fenrir, right now, this is a time of words, not actions. If we kill, or if we start fighting, we just lose leads. We have to keep this with a calm head.
And more
Unless
than
he's
likely,
lying.
before you kill me, I will kill the dog and maybe one other.
I'm completely lost above.
I would rather do the talking with him in ropes.
You would rather do talking like an animal, one who was born in the uncharted land, and one who will die outside of it. You don't scare me.
Okay, so back onto some of the small pleasantries. What can we call you, since you already know so much about us?
Well, you already knew my name. The king told you that.
Don't think he did.
My name is
No.
Kairu. And he did tell you.
Okay.
He told you when he told you about the white kitsune mask. Person.
Wait, is this different?
Which
than
is
that
also
person?
when he told us that he had this meeting just before getting cursed, but the guy said that he didn't turn up until after the curse, which is why I'm completely lost.
Is this the same guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm getting so
Make
much
me
mixed information
a
that I'm really
perception
struggling.
check.
All of us?
Sure.
Okay.
Actually, the king will even make one. Is that? Yep. Alright. Who else got a 20 for 20? Mason, not the king, who got a nat 20. You all realize that the kitsune mask he is wearing is completely different than the one described to you by the king. And in that moment of realization, as he says, well, the king already told you, although I don't know how he knew my name, you
Hey.
realize this is two completely separate people.
He didn't tell us this guy's name?
He told us his name, but he wasn't actually referring to this guy. He thought it was someone else. I think.
No. What had happened was the imposter took his name and used it when he talked to the king. Other way around.
That's the way he described it.
I was going to say, in the information we've been
He
given
just
in
described it
game, there's
from,
no
like-
way we could make that connection, really.
Mm-hmm.
That is one possibility with the information that we have been given.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, someone say that out loud so that Fenrir doesn't attack him. He's
The
on
king
like a
got the
razor's
nat
edge.
20.
The king says, wait. Your mask. It is not the same as the one who I spoke to before. That sort of raises a metaphorical eyebrow because you can't see his eyebrows. As he turns towards the king and goes, that's not really possible. We only make one kind of mask and they're all identical.
Mask can be changed.
Not these masks.
Sounds like there may be an organization working counter to you. One with the ability to get into the king's chambers after dark without being seen.
Well, that's easy. I could do it to you if I wanted.
No doubt.
If you are willing.
Wait, what? I presumed breaking into the building was the easy part.
Would you like me to show
Usually
you?
is.
He's looking straight at you, Nox.
Oh wait, what?
Oh,
I'm the one that's been
sure.
responding.
As he approaches you, he steps more so to the side where your shadow is. And as he tries to step in it, your shadow bounces him out. And he goes, huh. Well, that's never happened before.
He's a shadow monk, he can step between shadows.
Nox is a special individual.
Interesting.
My shadows are under my control. And as he does it, he would stretch his shadow out slightly, and then return it back to its normal form.
Oh.
It just
so
does not sound like
you're
we've-
him. We had heard reports that you were in the country.
Indeed, I'm the one who broke the curse on the king.
No,
I've yet to see a
before
single
that.
thing you say pan
Way
out.
before that. Months and months ago.
Oh, we passed through here a long time ago, didn't we?
Yes. Months and months ago, you passed by. You went through a
Heading
small
south.
city and went through a mountain range.
I recall. You heard of me then?
Fenrir's just gonna look at Nox and be like, "Is that even accurate? I've yet to hear one thing be confirmed out of this man's mouth."
No, that's quite true, though I'm curious how
We
you know.
have been keeping tabs on you ever since your abilities caught our eye, as you might say. but we never imagined you'd be here again. Small, quiet kingdom. Nothing really to do here, nothing really to gain. The only thing here that's any value is the land and the ore that lies beneath it.
We are here
Unless
for
you're the
neither.
men we're looking for.
We're tracking some particularly powerful individuals.
The
Ones who
five.
can walk out of shadows fit the description.
You're talking about the 5 demons.
Correct. My predecessors.
Turner's is gonna look like
Oh,
We've heard
my
reports
successor.
that one
Incredulously at
is
the-
dead.
he's gonna look at incredulously at the king and the wizard and be like, is that somehow common knowledge now?
Well,
It's not the king who's saying it though. It's this.
I know.
We've
He is
heard
looking to the side at
reports.
other people that he would also expect to not know and just be like, is that common knowledge now?
we've heard reports of a strange happenstance happening in the kingdom of Ul, but we do not know the details like he is saying.
What was the name of the one we killed down that way?
Hmm?
What was the name of the one that we killed down that way?
It was the bone demon one.
Yeah. I didn't want to say the bone demon one.
I
None of us bothered to learn his name, especially after he changed it once.
He was going under the name Marcus, but you never got the name other than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's
You saw his picture, right? His like high school photo or whatever.
Who?
Oh
Of who?
yeah.
Ox saw like the high school photo of the
I saw his
demon.
like history.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you would say, oh, that one's dead. We're here seeking another, who we believe travelled in this direction.
Yes and no. Whilst one did stop in, what's that border town again? You guys went through? Whilst
I
one
don't
did go
think so.
through Ivorydale, he continued into the university. Our sources say there are 2 within the university.
We
I
believe
don't
one
believe
is the
you.
headmaster.
We do not know. All we know is that there was one when the university started to turn. And when we got the reports that one had entered and left, reports were now showing that there were 2 in the university. Reports are still showing there are 2 in the university.
Why don't we just recap? You show up, sharing a visage and a name with the man who likely cursed him. And you claim to be with him all the time, yet fail to help him through even a simple problem.
I did
Sure,
not
there were-
claim to be with him all the time.
You claimed months of boredom.
I did. He was sick for months.
Yes, that is what I refer to. So you either failed or lapsed in your story. Then you give us details about how things went down, which do not match what we know, and change your story afterwards to fit our knowledge. And then you give us more information that tells us to leave. I don't trust you.
You don't have to trust me. I don't trust you.
Can I, like, what?
I'm so
I
confused.
do think you have your
Yeah.
timeline mixed up though.
No,
The
no, no.
first time. So he is saying that he first went into the King Shadow after he was cursed.
Yes, but he told us that
He
after we said that he met him beforehand. He's like, "Oh, that wasn't me." Like
yes.
we have like every single bit of information we've gotten from him has
He's
been
then backtracked.
incorrect until it's adjusted for what we know.
Mhm.
We have not gotten a single like the only thing he said that was correct on like landing was, "Oh, Nox, we know you were here."
Yeah.
And the other one was, "Oh, we know there are 5 demons." 2 bits of information that would be more likely for him to know if he was working with the demons.
I see where your head's at now. Never mind.
like,
I
like
see
if
where
you
your
were,
head's at. Okay. No, I
I'm
just
not gonna
didn't
lie.
understand where your
oh yeah,
head
you're
was
fair,
at.
and like it's hard to view things that way.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
yeah,
gonna lie.
and that is what Fender is getting at. He
I'm so
thinks that
lost.
this
I am
conversation,
so
like the
lost.
order that things are said, is very convenient. And that's why I was like, "Oh, I don't trust you." He's like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
I don't trust you either. I really don't.
And I'll ask again. Give me a good reason not to attack you right now.
Give me a good reason not to plunge silver through your head.
Finder's ready for battle. I'll give you
I'm not
guys
gonna
can-
lie. I feel as a player, I'm just like completely lost. I don't even know what Mason would be doing. That's how come I just
Yeah.
been quieter.
I'm the same. I've had
It's
so
like I
much
don't.
conflicting information that I am I can't make a decision.
You guys understand what I'm saying, or is
Yes. I understand
yeah?
what you're saying.
The other two. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fact that he's been talking around, but I honestly think that's just part of Noah trying to clarify things to us. The reason why it's come back around whenever we've mentioned something is because he's just trying to
Yeah,
clarify
that's definitely
in
a very
character.
fair meta reason. It's just the
Yeah.
fact that it's happened to happen for every single one makes this an
Yeah.
interesting.
I will give
call
one
out.
tidbit in that Nox has not relinquished all of his opportunities.
Yeah, but I can't just brain raid everyone we come across.
Let's have regular combat for once, guys.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. The dude, like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel like Mason would want to fight. The dude's coming in and talking with us. Mason would like literally just be. He wouldn't even be part of initiative. He would just step to the
Yeah,
side.
same, because
Okay,
he's not
but you,
being aggressive.
like,
he's only being
If
aggressive.
Finwar is
responding
clearly
to
just
your
trying
aggression.
to capture him alive, and the other guy is attacking back with kill intent, you really
Well,
wouldn't
that's
help
the
him capture
thing
the
is-
guy.
Like, Nox isn't even trying to capture because he stood here talking to us.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
my thing. It's
resisting
like
in any way.
he isn't. That's my thing. It's like, what if we capture him? What then? He's just gonna tell us the same shit. It's like there's no point
he'd
in this.
probably
It's
tell
No,
us
because if
less.
he's lying, then he might need to leave.
Either way, I'll just state this as a player. If combat happens, I'm not gonna be part of initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just so lost at the current point that I almost
Just gonna
feel like it
use-
would be better to.
Older objects for things if combat does happen.
Given how much conflicting information we've got, I almost feel like it'd be better to call it and start with a fresh slate another time.
I'd
Because
be
I
cool
think
with like if we started with a quick combat, as long as we show like Finwar's not gonna kill this guy. if we're right with our over the board thinking, this guy's not gonna kill Fenrir either. Like he's clearly trying to help the king. If they just
Yeah, my
I
problem
if
think
one of
is
them
he's
knocks
already
each other out,
telling you.
then all of a sudden things continue. Right, like
So
Nothing
I don't
happened.
see why he wouldn't.
it seems like
respond to
everyone
police
else,
aggression
if
you're
combat
attacking for no
happens,
reason.
they're gonna stay out of it. Nobody
I'm
else knows
okay
what
with-
to do. You're the one who wants to rear up for combat. So ultimately, it would be your decision.
we can make it a player decision. Do you guys like really like just want to move on and not worry about it?
My head is so scrambled from all the mixed messages we've got that
yeah.
I am out of any decision making at this stage.
Okay, so
same.
you guys aren't necessarily being like, no, I will never fight. You're just being like, I don't know what's going on. What the fuck is going on?
Well,
Yeah, I genuinely
well,
don't know what's going on. I don't want to make any plot relevant decisions based on the information we currently have. And like I say, I feel it's all got overly convoluted at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like the messages kind of just got scrambled. I'm still trying to play catch up, and I feel like I've gotten a good amount. And we kind of got to this part, and it feels like T-bone, and I don't even know what to say.
Okay,
Mhm.
why don't we like call it here then? And like,
Yeah,
next
I
time we'll
think
go
if
in.
we got relayed this information fresh in the correct order another time, I think the decisions we would come to would be vastly different to what we would do right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're calling for quick end
We're
of
calling
session.
for let everyone go to
Yeah.
bed and have more thoughts. I will say, like, if you can, as a DM, tell me that this guy is not going to be going for lethal, I can tell you as a player, I'm not going for lethal either. If we end up having like a little combat, and
If
like,
you
someone
go for
knocked
lethal,
out,
he will go for lethal. He will
Yeah, no,
match your
he-
energy.
Fenrir is not going for lethal, so that makes sense. So even if
He
they end up
is
like having a little
the-
one-on-one,
He is threatening you in
so is
the
Fenrir
manner
now.
that he thinks will stop you.
yeah.
He thinks the threat with silver will make you think enough to not attack him straight out. At least that's what he's hoping to happen.
Yeah, honestly, as like just to let you guys know, as a player, I think Fenrir is wrong, but I also think his worries in character are very well founded.
Yeah,
Um,
and trust me, it's kind of the case of I feel like Mason would be acting different. It's just a lot of the information just feels so like mismatched that me as the player just doesn't feel like I can comfortably make a decision right now.
And I'm in
Would you guys
exactly
be
the
okay
same
with
place.
letting Fenrir have a little fun one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, if you
Either
have a
he gets
standoff,
knocked
Nox
out or
would
the other guy
play
gets
it
knocked out, and
as,
who cares?
like, Nox has got the abilities to protect you both if needed, and help you recover and heal if needed. But he would take it as an option to insight and observe this guy's intentions.
Yeah, I would really like that if Fenrir could have this battle be wrong for a moment and just be brash.
Yep.
So,
No,
are you guys
that's-
cool with him like having a little bout at the beginning of next
Yeah,
session?
I understand your motivations for it. That's fine.
Yeah, and I do too. It's just kind of like I said, it's just I don't feel like I can comfortably make a decision. That's how come like I'm stating like me as the player does not feel comfortable putting Mason into combat because it's like I don't even know how he would be in character right now.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, so DM, I think next time we'll start with a refresher and a quick entering combat between Fenrir and this guy. Fenrir's already in hybrid form, is that alright?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then whoever knocks each other out, the conversation essentially will continue. Maybe after the guy wakes up, if Fenrir wins, probably immediately if Fenrir loses.
I'm making a
Sound
quick
good?
timeline to clear things up.
The biggest thing was
I'm making a quick timeline to clear things up so that
the biggest thing wasn't the timeline of what he's saying happened. It was the timeline of how he told us. That's what Fenrir is not trusting.
Yes.
Because
I understand that, but I also think that within the him telling it in kind of a mixed order,
Yeah,
you
that
all
definitely didn't
also
help.
have forgotten what the actual timeline was.
So we can go over it next time.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, my brain is just scrambled. I would rather go over it at the beginning of next session
Yeah, same.
than try and just add to my scrambled brain mush right now.
I'll go ahead and commit Fenrir to attacking, and they'll have a little bit of combat. And even if like we go over it next time and we're like, oh, that makes sense, Fenrir can just be wrong for a half second. He's not exactly the most intelligent character around.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Nox, right? You have a high intelligence, Nox?
I'm listening.
Yep. So
Okay.
I'm
that's
surprised-
So okay. So I'll discuss with you guys after. That is where we're gonna end it for today. We will see you all next time with combat starting up first thing next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.